Looks like Dave Smith's kids are getting so big now. I can't believe how little and young this Nazi is.
He is so tiny. I knew he was like a little guy, but I didn't realize how little standing next to Dave. And yes, Nick Fuentes is a baby-faced young incel leader.
He can't grow a man's mustache or a man's beard.
No.
And I've said before, when I did the thing with Dave, that's when I did the Unmasked with Dave Smith down in New Orleans, that's when I looked into who some of these other people were. I had no idea. I like Charlie Kirk. I swear to God, I didn't know him until the day he was shot. And Nick Fuentes, I hadn't heard of. But I turned on Nick Fuentes, and I'm like, he reminds me of Tim Dillon. He's kind of funny in these stupid, outrageous things that he's seen. And that made a lot of people mad. Because they're like, you think a Nazi's funny? I'm like, no, not that part.
Yeah.
The way he talks.
And the way he talks to his base is also, it can be funny. It can be like objectively like, oh, that's a funny thing he just said. But now, he'll then take a left turn into some crazy bullshit. But yeah.
I mean, Abby Hoffman, I didn't agree with everything that he said, but I read the books and I laughed because he was a funny person. Malcolm X, I didn't agree with any of that stuff. And then people were even trying to turn it around like he was just about to embrace everybody.
Was he?
I don't know.
Yeah, we can't tell.
I'm more of an MLK guy.
Sure.
But junior. Not senior and not the third, just junior.
That was the sweet spot on the MLK family.
I guess. I mean, some people disagree. Some people don't like him at all and said he was an outside agitator, which, weirdly enough, is what Earl is.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Earl Douglas, congratulations. Tomorrow night is the Knicks' first big game. Should be exciting. New York is going crazy. Yeah. New York has never cared about any sport as much as they do basketball. And it's been like since the early 70s since it's paid off on them. But people in New York, this is why Dolan could go on being as bad as he was as an owner, because they showed up.
Yep.
They showed up. That's why I like a city like Philly, where they're just like, hey, fuck you. You know what I mean? I've had enough of your bullshit, and I'm selling my tickets for fucking $10,000 to a bunch of Wall Street assholes.
Yeah, when the team bottomed out, there was this call. It was like, hey, guys, stop going to the game. Stop putting money in this guy's pocket. But they still kept showing
Never
up.
happened. Everybody went. I never remember seeing an empty seat at that place.
And it's been bottomed out for 30 years, by the way. I mean, and that's conservative.
When was the last time that you were running into the playoffs? Was it late 90s, Earl?
It was like, actually, it was the Carmelo years. They had a couple of runs where they had a 50-win season, and I think they went to the second round of the playoffs, but that was like early 2000s.
But Carmelo was just one of those guys he's just not going to win with.
Nope.
You know what I mean? And we were telling you, he's a little too selfish. It's got to all be about him.
Carmelo got to get his points. That's exactly what it was during that entire run.
I felt the same way about AI. A lot of people fucking disagreed with me, but I'm like, why is he bringing a posse here? You know what I mean? What's the big deal? Why don't you dress like a gangbanger later, after the game? You know, why do you have to show up like that with a posse and with your ass out? Why don't you just wait?
You know who else has a tinge of that? And he's early in his career, and Ant-Man. Ant-Man the other night, 8 minutes left, congratulating the Spurs with 8 minutes left. Ant-Man, more like ain't him. You know what I mean? I'm going to throw that out.
No, first of all, you're the only person who acted like he was the future.
There were a couple other people.
Can I tell you, though, what it is? He's got a pretty face. You know what I mean? He's got a Jackson 5 face.
That's a very good point.
So people want to love him.
Yeah.
And yeah, he has flourishes, but he hasn't proven anything yet.
That's right. My Timberwolves are in a state of disarray.
I don't know whether you're Timberwolves.
I just really liked Ant-Man 2 years ago when they made that deep playoff run, and I was like, oh, this seems fun. I mean, I got caught up.
When John Morant came here, I was like, finally, you know what I mean? Somebody to carry the league. Guess what he had to do? point guns at people,
Constantly.
fucking hang out with fucking bad people.
And then
Wait, you're going to get a chance to do all those things.
this dude loves guns so much. This season, some of his celebrations were acting as if he just shot a bazooka. Like it's all gun and grenade related.
They say that even a lot of the young players, college players, they can't stop shooting the guns. You know, they're
It's
just
fun.
fucking
Yeah,
doing
bang, bang,
people-
bang.
It might be fun, but the league, it's one of the few things that they lock into.
Very
You
true.
know what I mean?
They got to break themselves of that. The players.
How do you think Pittsburgh's going to go this year? Just fucking, are they going to make the playoffs?
They're going to make the AFC Championship game. I mean, with Rodgers under Mike McCarthy and that run game, and they got rid of that bum Arthur Smith as offensive coordinator, I'm feeling real good about them Steelers.
I had no idea you felt that way.
I mean,
I'm
I
shocked.
just...
I saw the stupid schedule releases.
Oh,
Which,
God.
I mean, out of all the embarrassing things with the NFL, they're the worst.
Mm-hmm.
But then did you see that we've got 3 big fucking Thanksgiving games and a Thanksgiving Eve game?
Look, as I've said before, I'm addicted to the NFL. This is too much. It's too much.
4 games in 24 hours on the one holiday you're supposed to be with your family. They already stole Christmas away from the NBA. And now they're like, let's take Thanksgiving away from mom. It's the meal she works the hardest on. Let's make sure people are on dinner trays and not paying attention to each other.
Absolutely. And it's not like these are just like 3 throwaway games on Thanksgiving Day. It's Bears-Lions, Eagles-Cowboys, Bills-Chiefs. Like these are marquee, like any other, like it's a Sunday Night Football marquee game. 3 of them.
Guess what? You want to fix the league? Then the Cowboys and the Lions shouldn't get this thing. Put different teams. Let the Cowboys eat at home with their families every once in a while.
For once.
Do you think the people of Detroit have seen this as some beautiful Thanksgiving tradition? Most of the times they have bags on their fucking heads.
Yeah. Except for the last 3 years, it's been baghead time.
Baghead. Earl's going to have, Knicks lose 1 game, Earl's going to put a bag on his head.
I could see that. He's a fair weather guy.
Earl, who would you rather play? San Antonio? Because you're going to win this.
Yeah. I feel
You're
really
going
good
to win
about it.
this. So San Antonio or OKC, the returning champs?
OKC, you got to take out the champs. To be the best, you got to beat the best.
But if they get beat
He's
by the
interested.
Spurs, then they're not the best. You know what I mean?
Wait, what are you talking
Well,
about?
he's saying right now he wants to
Okay.
beat the champs.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I like where he's coming from. You know who else won a big fucking prize over the weekend? John Travolta. Even though everyone's ignoring the Cannes Film Festival, he got a Lifetime Palme d'Or, which I don't believe has ever existed before.
Oh, wow. He's first one.
Now, here's the thing. Do you think he deserves a Lifetime thing? I get certain points of his life was very strong.
Yeah.
But Lifetime is what drags him down. When's the last watchable movie he's been in?
I couldn't tell you. Swordfish, and that's watchable just to make fun of it. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't make fun of it. I fucking like that movie.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but it's still ridiculous. The hacking scene's insane.
I think it's fun, though. It's a fun movie where some of these things are just flat out embarrassing. All right, I'm going to say this about John Travolta. And I do think over the course of his life, you can laugh at him. But I would make the case today that he should have 2 Oscars. And he was ripped off twice by the Academy. The first one, when he did Saturday Night Fever, I mean, it was the best thing that came out that year. And they gave it to Richard Dreyfuss, who maybe did the worst fucking movie of the early part of his career. He was embarrassing in The Goodbye Girl. He was overacting and weird, and human beings don't act like him. And then 2, you're going to pick, before Vincent Vega, you're going to pick Forrest Gump? You got to be fucking kidding me.
No.
So would I give him a Lifetime award, the Palme d'Or? No. He's fucked up too much. But does he deserve 2 Oscars? Yes.
That's fair. That is a fair assessment. And also, a lot of people making fun of his hat. which is just weird because
I
it's
don't
just a
care
beret.
about that. I'm talking about people wear hats. But the thing is this. Does he deserve a lifetime? I mean, the last 20 years, maybe even more, maybe almost 30 years are embarrassing. Because, I mean, you're going all the way back to Swordfish. I don't even know where it would cut off. I mean, I really did like some of the things that he did in the 90s. The 80s were almost, other than Blowout, that was a fucking wash for him. The 70s, he, that character in Saturday Night Fever, one of the best. Grease, I guess, is a children's film that a lot of people like. That it started getting real bad.
Yeah.
Real quick.
I mean, I was a big Look Who's Talking fan. I thought he brought a lot to the character, and he was very charming. Very
You know
charming.
one thing. Bruce Willis was very happy with the checks that came in for that. He thought it. Thought it was a fucking throwaway, and then he was like, "This is fucking
Damn.
great.
This is
We're
it.
making better than TV money." When I saw people saying after Saturday Night Live, they're like, Paul McCartney has ruined his legacy because his voice is the voice of an 84-year-old man, and I'm going, no. Everyone will look at the Beatles.
Yes.
What ruined his legacy was probably Wings. And that still hasn't touched his legacy. His legacy with the Beatles makes him bigger than Elvis.
Man, it's so funny that people are saying this because I had the opposite experience watching him because I'm very aware of his age. And I went, well, he's kept his instrument pretty good. I thought, like, that's not an easy thing to do. Your voice ages just like every other part of your body.
Yeah, absolutely. It's people just, what do they want? What do they want from these elderly
What do the
rock
people
stars?
want?
They want Paul McCartney, but they don't want him to sound old.
They want him to be a young boy again. They want him to be the cute one. And then they look at him and go, the cute one? I mean, he's 1,000,000 years old. How could he be?
But we still want him to be the cute one.
I'm telling you this. The discourse of all things is like maybe one of the most difficult things about modern day life.
Yeah, because everyone has a voice, and then there's also bots that are more or louder than the human voices.
But also, even if I'm going to just take out bots because that's a whole other X factor that like even that could like the discourse is created by something that isn't real with like intent to manipulate.
Yeah.
Let's just pretend like we're talking about regular human people.
Gotcha.
I have noticed, of course, as we all have, that a lot of times a controversy is begun sometimes with as few as one single person.
Yeah.
One single person on Threads or Blue Sky or X says a thing, and then people respond to that thing. And then the articles come, and they go, this person has been canceled because of this. This backlash was created. And, like, sometimes it's a fandom that I'm in. So I'm like, I'm reading all the things. And I assure you I saw 2 people say this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's this very strange thing about it that sometimes now I have to question when people go, people are upset about this, and I'm not in that fandom or I'm not into that world or it's not my special interest, that I go, I have to remember to question it. So like a very good example is all the discourse, and I'll put it in quotes, about the Odyssey.
Oh, yeah.
So I certainly know that people are saying there's a discourse, but is there actually? I can't tell you, because all I can see is the people saying, I'm fucking sick of the discourse about the Odyssey. And I'm like, who are the original guys? 5 of them? 10 of them?
So
even if there's 100 of them. You know what I mean? Like, we're still talking about a small number. I'm very curious if it's real.
I've been following this since day one of the trailer dropping,
Yes.
right? The full trailer.
Yes.
And there's multiple factions, not even just 2. There's
Okay.
the faction that is furious that there's that the sets and the actual film itself doesn't represent the Mediterranean enough. They're like,
Yes.
this doesn't look like the Mediterranean. Everything's so dull and dark in the film. Then there's the people like, that's not actually how Greek warriors dressed. And this is
Okay.
totally ridiculous. Screw you, Chris Nolan.
Yes.
Then now,
So you think these are real? So you're saying there is real, actual discourse, and
I'm gonna guess some of it is real, and then it gets
Okay.
picked up. People just pile on. Some people just
Right.
start bitching and don't even watch the trailer. Right
Yeah.
now, over the last few days, now it's Zendaya, I believe, is Athena, and Elliot Page is Achilles.
Achilles,
That's
yeah.
the new discourse. I
Right,
can't
right.
believe there's a brown woman as Athena.
right. And as far as there being a trans man as Achilles, and again, we'll just have to pretend these are real people who are really talking it, and then I'll give my response. These people maybe haven't read the Odyssey, and so maybe they shouldn't be upset about it. Like, why would you get upset about something that you haven't read? Because I'm going to give you a little spoiler, and it's been out for a long time, the Odyssey.
Homer.
The way that Achilles decided that he wanted to avoid going to war is he hid out on an island and dressed as a woman and spent a good portion of time hiding out on the island with his gay lover dressed as a woman. And now we're going to be upset that that character is going to be portrayed by a trans man. I'm like, I'm not even sure you guys are really, like, do you really care? Because I think it's made up.
Well, it's all Elon. Elon's mad that his kid transitioned.
Right.
So that has to come up constantly. Nobody else. I mean, most people are like, why is he doing the Odyssey?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not doing ancient stuff anymore. It's not the 1950s.
Yes. And also, you could get upset about all the specifics. Like, I don't believe that person would be that race. I don't believe that that person should be trans. Guess what they're also not doing? Speaking ancient Greek. This film is made in English. You know what I mean? Like, we're all going to have to suspend our disbelief a little because it's entirely going to be in English.
Matt Damon screams, "Let's go!" as he's fucking running into some sort of fight. I'm not sure.
I don't think we need to get upset about it. I think you could go see it if it interests you, and then don't if it doesn't.
I'm going to be honest. I won't be going to this. I don't. It has nothing to do with the casting. I'm just not going.
Yes, and that seems to be like the most normal reaction because this is
Right.
a very specific thing. Like, if you're interested in this time period or this specific story, sure.
But also, what Achilles is going by the name Juno, and I'm like, that's a whole different
Yes.
thing.
And I was like, oh, like the capital of Alaska? And then Achilles rolls his eyes. I mean, come on. It's a pretty normal question.
Brian in New Jersey. Brian,
Oh, Ron, Gail, Chris, Earl, everybody. How's everybody?
hey,
Hey.
good.
Paul McCartney, I think he still sounds great. I mean, is it still the 60s? No, but I think he's held on better than almost anybody. And I think anybody who has a complaint about his voice should be forced to go sit through a David Lee Roth concert. If you've
Look.
seen any of those clips out there.
Here's the thing. You're getting Paul McCartney at this age. You're getting David Lee Roth at this age. Again, does the people that are saying Paul sounds good, he doesn't sound like Paul McCartney.
Right.
The guy used to sing like an angel. He sings like an 84-year-old man.
Right.
It works out better if you had a deep voice. And Johnny Cash had that, where you listen to his and he was like, well, you can really hear the years on him. He's been
Right.
through some shit, our man. But when you hear somebody who you're used to hearing sing like that lovable angel, no, it's thin. It's a thin voice. I've been to shows the last couple of years and seen some of the better singers from the 70s and 80s not hitting all the notes.
Right.
People that I love. I'm not even going to bring them up because this is where they are. When I was a kid, I saw Muddy Waters. I saw fucking John Lee Hooker. I'm sure they weren't at their fucking peak, but I wasn't around
right.
when they were fucking 25. And I'm like, I'm seeing fucking John Lee Hooker right now. This is great.
That's how I feel about it. And again, I really just felt like when I heard his voice, I go, oh man, it's not an easy thing to keep that instrument going. And I'm like aware of his age. I felt like I wasn't going like, oh my God, he sounds like shit.
Can I tell you what I thought was embarrassing? When they did the fake ending the U2 bit, which was the greatest fucking bit ever and should have been left with U2. And then he comes out to do Coming Up. And I'm like, that fucking song blew in 1980.
Very true.
Here's our buddy Ezra.
What's up, buddies?
Hi.
Gail, Ron, first of all, I love you. I love you. Ron, I love you. Ron, I love you. Gail, I love you too, because I'm literally in the midst of being furious about something that just happened. There's a show that y'all don't watch it, Perfect Crown, a Korean show.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was loving the show. The guy, the lead guy, is a beautiful guy. Everyone's loving him. Because of him, I think people are hating on the actress. Now, I wasn't crazy about all of the show, but I loved her performance. So I'm furious. But as you're saying, or as you said, I'm going through my head trying to figure out if it's real. Who do I get angry at? Do I have a reason to be angry? Should I am so torn right now because I'm angry, but I don't know if it's real, exactly as you said.
Yeah. I mean, I had this over the weekend with like, an actor I like, take a guess from a show I like. And there was like, oh my God, everyone's getting upset over this thing. I go to look it up. I go, I'm having 15, 20 minutes. I'm like, I can't even get to the bottom of this. I think it came from one comment and then 100,000 people being like, I disagree with that completely. And it was like an attempted cancel of like, he knows someone who said something. Like now it's like even some like your friend's social media presence, old stuff. You know how they tell young actors now you wipe your social media, get rid of everything. It would be like if you had a friend from college who was an idiot. And I think one person said it and I go, everyone stop engaging with it. I think it was one person. It's 100,000 people versus one. And then I'm surprised I haven't seen an article like this person is canceled because of this. You know what I mean? Like we pretend like it is a big deal and it isn't.
I did that when people found out that I was friends with Charlie Manson. And I'm like, what can I do? I love the guy's music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he's charismatic.
And, your friends, sometimes you know someone a long time. It's like family. That's more like a cousin to you.
That's right. They always say you can pick your family, but you can't pick your friends.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very good point.
True. Yeah. That's you and Charlie.
You know who's lucky that they didn't have to put up with people online? The Dukes of Hazzard. I think the blowback would have been so strong against the Dukes of Hazzard that they wouldn't have probably gotten a second episode.
I do agree with that, where people are like, oh, woke people are like doing this and that. And everyone's like, we used to just be able to enjoy movies or whatever. I think you just didn't hear from people. That's all. I think that a lot of times some of the edgier TV shows or movies or like, oh, this is really offensive to women. People were aware of that. Like they weren't idiots. They were aware of it. They just didn't have a platform to explain it to other people.
Look, one of the things that annoys me the most is when people act like All in the Family brought us together. It certainly did not. No. I never was interested in that old man fucking ranting like that. I'm going, why do you think I leave my house the second I can? The second dinner's over. I don't want to fucking hang out with that generation.
No.
I don't think when people go, and we all came together. Did we? In the 70s, were we all together? Was that a great fucking time for togetherness?
Yeah. People are really confused about the past. They're really confused about the past. They don't have a good sense. Yeah. The nostalgia, your own personal youth. The 80s were great. Well, they were great for me because I was a little baby. That's why they were great.
Sure. I remember, I have two depression babies as my parents.
Yeah.
And they would be like, at Christmas, we would get an orange and we were thrilled. And I was like, if that's so good, why aren't you just giving me an orange?
Right.
Why do I have
Right.
15 presents under my tree? Because you're trying to make up for how fucking horrible. But they look
Exactly.
back on it fondly.
Yes. And they think like that is good. But they weren't having a good time. Okay? They weren't enjoying it.
No. Or they didn't know what a good time was.
Yeah.
It's more likely, you know what I mean?
Right.
So they played kick the can or whatever stupid thing. Pierre, Virginia.
Buddies, how you doing, Randy?
What do you say?
I got mad that he did Coming Up as the last song. I was wondering why he wasn't on stage, and then my NBC affiliate cut it off. And I don't know if that happens all over, but I'm kind of mad that they cut the ending. When they're all hugging each other, they cut it off. And Ron and Gail.
Well, they didn't get to that part. They literally ran overtime. But if
Yeah.
you notice, they put up Lorne Michaels' name and left it there for a while, and then thanked everybody from the show,
Right.
as if, is this the last? This is the last. Who knows?
Who knows? You never
But
know.
there was talk about that. But yeah, I mean, they cut out the hugging, obviously, because they ran over and did a song.
Can I tell you, I like, because it depends always. They never know if they're going to hit it exactly or if it's going to go long. I love when they accidentally go two under and you get a really long outro. That's I can't explain it, but it makes me so happy when you get the host saying thank you to everyone. Then they start to get emotional because they're talking too long and they realize how big this thing is. It's over. And then the music is playing. Everyone is hugging. Now they're past hugging and you're seeing like they're laughing and they're having little chit chats. And
Yeah.
I'm like a creepy little voyeur. I'm just like, oh my God, look at them. Look at them interact. Oh, you never would have thought those two would be friends, but here they are. I
Right.
fucking love that moment. I love it so much.
We should all hug at the end of our show every day like it's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
The ending song is just us hugging, talking.
The Mandalorian movie is being released. I think it's opening Memorial Day weekend, and the early reviews are not good. For as good as the TV reviews were,
Yeah,
and I know you're a big fan of Pedro,
I am.
but how many bombs does this guy get?
You know, he's been a part of a couple hit TV shows. I don't know if he has the same track record right now with films.
Nope.
But
He's not
in the
a-
TV shows, is he the star? Because I think a lot of times when he gets
Into-
the film,
yeah.
they try to star him.
The Last of Us, he was,
Oh, yeah.
and the
Mandalorian.
and then he had another one that I actually didn't watch. It was the Narcos one, but I hadn't seen it. Like I wasn't up on
That was
Narcos.
early Pedro.
And he was the star of that one. I guess that was like that's pre The Last of Us. So I feel like yes, he got to this place where he was getting starring roles in TV shows. Those were doing well. Maybe not so much in the film department.
A lot of people have asked me to watch Narcos. I won't because I don't want the POV of a narc. It's just
Yes.
it's not the way I was raised. It's like watching a show called Nazis. I'm not going to do
They're
it.
the bad guys.
I should watch it though because he's in a very foxy era of Pedro in that time period.
I saw your buddy Paul Hollywood on, and I forget, it was a clip from somebody's show.
Uh-huh.
So they said to Paul Hollywood, have you ever had an American box cake? Have you just ever sat down and enjoyed a box cake? And he goes, I've never tried. What flavors are they? And they said, well, it's vanilla, chocolate, and yellow cake. And he goes, yellow is not a flavor. What flavor is yellow? And everyone just looked around because we don't know
No.
what a yellow cake represents. If anybody does know, I'd love to hear it. 844 Rock God. That's 844-762-5463. But I'm willing to say this. I don't think anybody else knows. I think we're all in the same position that I'm in. And
Yeah.
guess what? If I'm going to have a box cake, yellow is by far
Yeah.
my favorite.
Now, here's the thing. a yellow cake and a white cake, perhaps you could find both box mixes and both feel vanilla adjacent, yet wildly different flavor to me. So yellow feels like its own flavor profile. I can't explain it.
When you get vanilla, you could put any flavor icing on it and everyone's okay with it. A yellow cake, it's chocolate and chocolate alone. You don't put strawberry on top of, you don't put vanilla on top of it.
Yes.
The yellow cake and chocolate, perfection. Anything else is a faux pas.
It's a richer flavor, and to me, that flavor is yellow. It feels custardy, perhaps.
Ooh.
That's the best I could say in flavor.
But why don't we know it? Why haven't we had this? Why did it take Paul Hollywood to say that's not a flavor?
To hold a mirror up to our own culture.
It's because he's on the outside looking in. You know what I mean? And sometimes you need that as a society, someone to come in and point
all
this
of
shit
us
out.
should have said, "What flavor
What
is
is
this?" We do that with every other flavor.
And like, it's funny because it comes up a lot in my family because it is my dad's preferred like birthday cake situation, a yellow cake with a chocolate frosting, as well as my husband's preferred yellow cake, chocolate frosting.
You can't get another frosting with it.
No, you shouldn't.
There's not another. I mean, I guess you could have seafood frosting. And just fucking start eating that.
Yeah, we could just
Frosting
make up
shrimpy.
whatever.
But what the hell is it? When I had went out and bought a fucking yellow cake, and I was just staring at it, and I'm like, look at this cake,
Yeah.
and look how it shines for you, and everything you do, and it was all yellow. I came along and I ate a cake for you, and the things you do, and it was called yellow.
True.
I don't know what fucking flavor a yellow cake is. But I'll say this. Don't they say like a yellow cake is something to do with like nuked up fucking radiation shit? We found yellow cake in this
Yes.
place.
Yeah.
Somebody
That's
was making a bomb.
That's old like uranium or like or
What?
fresh uranium. Either or, but yes,
Yes.
you're correct. It's yellow
I've never
cake
heard this.
Yeah, it's like a term they use. Yeah.
I only know it from movies.
Yeah.
They will say, we went into the thing and there was yellow cake.
And it was bad, dudes. Got to get that yellow cake. Flavor wise, would neutral be a flavor? Like it's just like
But it isn't neutral.
It's not neutral.
It's- I mean,
yellow
look,
cake
it's-
flavor.
It's far more flavorful than a white cake. A white
true.
cake is not as dense in flavor, I don't believe. I feel like there's a better flavor profile that is like a louder note in yellow.
Here is Kevin. Kevin, how are you?
Hey, buddies, you got me?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay. Listen, yellow cake is just butter and sugar and a little bit of water.
But
And
here's the
how
thing.
come
I
Chris
could taste
hasn't called
butter
me
in
yet?
anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like I will say
Not a
maybe
chocolate
that's
cake.
giving I'm going to tell you this. You're putting butter in a white cake, in a chocolate cake. I don't believe it is the factor is butter. I feel like most cake mixes you're going to use a butter.
But not a little bit of butter, he's saying. Butter. Like
Extra
fucking
butter.
tons of butter. Like you ever get something to just get a ton of butter and you're like, I could taste the fucking butter in this.
yes.
Yeah.
That's not a yellow cake. Hey, Dave, what's up?
What's going on, Ronnie? What I noticed when I was a kid, you pick up a white cake and you pick up a yellow cake. It was just denser and heavier, and it was
That's
like
interesting.
the chocolate on it was
think you're
great.
right.
You could actually dip it in milk.
You're saying that we're tasting the weight.
Interesting.
That
Well,
the taste we're picking up.
There's more
is
going
weight.
It
on.
was just denser.
I agree.
It was a better. It was a better bite.
No, I would agree that it's denser.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what is the flavor? Mark in Vermont. Mark.
Hey guys, $1 million
Yeah.
bucks. So egg yolks and butter, but usually in a box mix, it's artificially colored. But if you make it from scratch with
Right.
eggs and extra egg yolks and butter, that's where you're getting that rich flavor.
Where the
I've
white
never
cake,
made
are
it
you
from-
using whites only, perhaps?
Ooh.
Brad in Atlanta.
Hey, buddies, what about red velvet cake? What does that taste like to you?
Oh, that's going to be on a different show when we really get into red velvet cake. Today's about yellow cake.
Next
all right?
episode on the pod is all about red velvet.
Can I just ask this? What about pork chops? I mean, don't you think they taste better than steak? All right, we're going to get the answer anywhere. It's going to be with Carla Finch. Hey, Carla.
Hi, Carla.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
So the difference is in a white cake, it's egg whites only. In your yellow cake, you add the egg yolks, which adds the richness and color to the cake, which makes it more yellow. If you go by the egg yolk.
Yeah. Is there more yolk than white in there? Are you putting an extra yolk?
No, they use the whole egg versus where the white only uses the egg white.
All right. Then how come when I have a scrambled egg, it doesn't taste like yellow cake?
It doesn't. It doesn't taste that good. It really does.
But that does answer my custardy question. That there is a more custardy feel to a yellow cake. That's why I feel like there's more going on. There literally is. The more is yolk.
But I feel like why take the yolk out of anything?
Like ever.
Ever.
Anyone's like, I have an egg white omelet.
Ew.
Have you ever tried one of those?
Sucks.
It's awful.
Yeah. And worse, an egg white scramble. You're like, throw some spinach in there and it'll make it delicious. No, it doesn't.
It's making it
doesn't.
worse.
Can I tell you
It's actually
something?
getting
I was at
worse.
a place and a guy goes, do you want to try my egg whites? And I go like this. Let me lock my gun up first. Put my gun in a locker so we'll all be safer. Rich in New York.
Hey guys, so the other caller with the butter, he was right, but to enhance the butter taste, they use this butter. I work for a cake company. They use this butter alternative that gives it that yellow color back in the day when they first developed these things. So that's why the yellow cake
Like a
got
yellow
its name.
margarine, perhaps.
Can I just say this? Deb is shaking her head no. You believe it has more to do with the yolk than this additive butter?
Yeah, and because there's no yolks in a white cake, it's also that's why it's lighter and less dense because egg whites fluff
What
up.
about a chocolate cake?
That's
However,
different day.
if you buy a white cake mix at the store, you put whole eggs in just like you do with a yellow cake.
No.
You're saying no, Deb?
Nope, I've made my family's favorite cake is the white cake mix, so I've made that my entire life, and it's egg whites only.
Yeah, I do believe Deb is correct.
I remember down south, the bathrooms would have egg whites only on it. And I'm like,
No, thank you.
I'd rather just pee here against the door. Okay, that was my way of protesting.
Thank you. That's what
LA.
you're going to get. Right there on the handle.
Now, Alan in Montreal.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Well, big game for you guys tonight. Are you ready?
Yeah, it's do or die. I thought we would have done it on Saturday there in Montreal, but we didn't.
You got blasted.
Yeah.
They seem to always pull it out in the last game anyway. So listen, I grew up with my Irish grandmother, and every Sunday she would make a yellow cake. And the thing about a yellow cake, it's also considered a pound cake. And a pound cake is called a pound cake because it's a pound of every ingredient: flour, sugar, eggs, and butter.
I had no idea this.
I'm guessing the egg yolks is what gives it most of the yellow color. And as far as I remember, angel food cake is what a white cake is.
I didn't know that about pound cake. I just thought it was because I always take it to Pound Town.
A pound
as far as
of
I know,
butter.
pound
A
cake-
pound of
as far as
sugar.
I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm still on.
You
Yes, you are.
Like I said, as far as I know, a pound cake is a pound of every ingredient. That's why they call it a pound cake. And a pound liquid form is 16 ounces. So the eggs would be 16 ounces.
Here's what I'm saying. I'm shocked that when you eat a pound cake, your foot doesn't fall off. A pound of butter? A pound of sugar?
I've eaten entire pound cakes before, and now I feel even more disgusting. This is awful. This is bad news for me.
I don't know if it is. I think it's just a normal day for you.
Love quantity.
Now, Chris, here's the thing. You are a baker, and you know very little about baking.
See, here's the thing. I dabble in bread baking. I do not like making sweet treats, the cakes at all, because I just don't like working with sugar. Everything gets too damn sticky, and I don't like it.
Stop licking your fingers so much.
I can't. Tastes too good.
The breads you make are fantastic.
Thank you.
Now, I know people who they have bakeries with cakes, cookies, stuff like that. And I'll say to them, in New York, if you make good bread, you'll be a fucking multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
Because every restaurant will come to you for that bread. Yep. Every fucking sandwich place. And then all the regular people who love good bread.
Yes.
And New York trails bread. It's one of the reasons that the sandwiches are not as good here.
And like, that's the interesting thing is like most I worked at an Italian restaurant in Brooklyn. They were very careful about their source. They were afraid that if people started to get it, that they would become way too popular. They were like very secure about the deliveries and when they were getting them. And they were like, if somebody asks about where we get the bread, just see if a manager or the owner is available, because they got to suss them out of like what kind of person, because they're afraid that they're like trying to get inside info and stealing their bakery away from them.
Here's the weird thing. If you go out walking around in New York City, 5 o'clock in the morning, a lot of these restaurants will just have bags of bread in front of the fucking place. And they're like, it's fucking gross to me. You know what I mean? Like some people are like, let's just grab this bread. I go, I never want to grab bread.
Yeah.
Now.
It's real weird because, look, may have been stealing some of that bread when leaving the bars at 4 a.m. in the city. Sure. And I'm like, holy shit, that's a free bag of bread. Obviously, it's not free. I'm stealing it. At the time, I was just hammering Kaiser rolls.
But when there was a bar that we used to go to in Brooklyn called Bar Matchless, RIP, it's no longer there. And it was right next to, I believe it was called Nassau Bakery. It's like a Polish bakery. And we used to leave there. Then, like, you know how, like, they have, like, the convey, like, they're making it, putting on the thing, bagging it. We would stick our heads in like we were stray dogs. And then, like, just be like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, hey. They'd come over, hand us each a roll, and then we would walk home eating the most incredible fresh baked bread right out of the oven. And I was like, this is the life. This is the life.
Fresh bread out of the oven is fantastic. There's nothing like it. Well, I will say this. A donut straight out of the oven.
That's
is
great.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
and when the lights are on, the donuts are coming out. But I worry about those bags of bread being wrap bread. Sure. You know, they're just sitting on the fucking street.
They're lit. There's just bags of bread in front of any store that uses bread at 4 a.m. It's really weird. And guess what? There's also tons of rats everywhere. New York City.
And this Honda Day.
Deb is interrupting me with bagels out of the oven. I will say this. Put butter on it? Yes. Do I want to put cream cheese on a fucking hot bagel?
Nope.
I don't.
I don't either.
Doesn't work.
If a bagel is either hot out of the oven or perhaps toasted, and by the way, I'm against it, but if it must be, I feel like it's lacking something. I would prefer lukewarm cold cream cheese. That's my preference.
Did you guys watch CBS Sunday Morning?
Did not.
I didn't, no.
So a lot of it for some reason was in Philly. And they were showing this lady who makes the Philadelphia pretzels, which most people don't even get.
Yes.
It looks like a fucking very tight 8. It's big and thick, and it's fantastic. They're still selling them for 90 cents a piece.
Hell yeah.
90 cents a piece. Now it's so weird because a lot of New Yorkers will think that thing tastes like a bagel. And they'll go, oh, it's the same thing. I go, yeah, but you wouldn't put mustard on a fucking bagel.
No.
And I wouldn't put cream cheese on a fucking pretzel because I'm not in the mall. It's some fucking stupid place like
St.
that.
Annie Ann's.
Also, guess where they went for cheesesteaks? Pat's.
Oh, not Geno's.
CBS Sunday Morning. You don't have one fucking person working on your show to say don't go to Pat's?
I know a lot of people from Philly and the Philly area. I don't know anyone who goes to Pat's and or Geno's. I said it.
What do Pat and Geno's have on the media? They must have something.
Well, it's because they're in kind of a thing where it's almost like a little Times Square. Okay, it's a tourist area. So, and then the tourists go there because they've seen it on fucking Monday Night Football, and they go, we got to pick, and no one from Philly fucking eats there at all. And I did go there the night I saw Rocky. I went to fucking Pat's because we yelled out in the theater, hey, look, it's Pat's. Because we liked seeing things on a movie screen that we had seen before.
Sure.
So we fucking went straight to Pat's, and then we ran up the steps, and we had to be at least in the first 100 people, whoever ran up the steps.
That's sick.
Because no one did that before Rocky. Now it happens on a constant.
Yes, daily.
Yeah, they should charge money.
They
should say $5, and they would fucking balance the budget. Here's the other thing that's funny to me about Philly, and I was thinking of watching this, and I brought this up to Jack. I go, the funny thing about Philly is in the 70s, early 80s, probably well in the 80s, if you met someone in Philly, they were born in Philly. No one fucking moved to Philly.
Right.
Now, you'll be in Philly, where are you from? And they'll tell you some fucking, Iowa, some suburban thing. Same thing with Pittsburgh. All the people born in Pittsburgh live somewhere else.
Yep.
And there's a bunch of people who aren't born in Pittsburgh living in Pittsburgh.
Right. Does that have to do with the city, or does it have to do, you think, with the increase of like college culture? And
college culture.
Yeah.
College culture is looking for the new thing, right? That's how Brooklyn got big.
Right.
You know what I mean? Immediately. Yep. But they are willing to do the kind of jobs that you can't make a full living with,
Right.
Yeah.
And, so they're going there working as baristas or whatever the fuck. And the people who were from the factories had to move away from the cities.
Yeah. It's really interesting, too. That
Luckily,
it's just like people are from other places. Like, it just wasn't common.
Yeah, and that's why you don't hear the New York accent in New York.
Nope.
You will hear it in Staten Island because people ain't moving there.
Right.
And you'll hear it from Long Island because those people all left Philly for fucking Long Island. See if you can find a thing where Bill Hader is doing an impression of Dee Dee Ramone. So it's on a podcast.
Love
but
this.
He nails this accent that used to exist in Manhattan only. And Jim Carroll had it.
Yeah.
Lou Reed had it. And it's not like, hey, I'm from New York. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's this weird, quirky accent that used to exist. Have you found it, Chris? Or
I'm about bringing it up in just a second.
Okay. But he watched this thing from the Ramones documentary and fell in love with the way Dee Dee Ramone was speaking, and then nailed it completely. But I'm like, that is an accent that only exists in that generation. Like, it's an accent that didn't exist for people coming up in the 30s and 40s.
Right. It's such a narrow, specific time. And yes, very rare to come up with that, like hearing anybody existing now with this type of accent.
It's almost like it's a Lower East Side accent that doesn't exist.
Copy of this at SNL, and it was in my dressing room. And John Mulaney, Fred Armisen, and I would watch this sometimes because there was a lot of waiting around time at SNL. And we would watch this, and we would quote it constantly, and mostly Dee Dee.
Joey, I don't know. He was difficult. He used to leave his brother's albums on the radiator. They'd be melted, steal everybody's hash. I think.
There's a part in it where I think Dee Dee goes, yeah, Johnny was really smart, you know, like, he was smart, like he could make cheeseburgers and make French fried potatoes.
At 21 years old, that's like pretty cool thing to do rather than eat some dope and potato chips.
And so we would always walk around going, oh yeah, they're smart, they can make cheeseburgers. Warren's smart, he can make French fried potatoes. And so we would just talk like Dee Dee Ramone.
But believe me, he could have said, this is my Jim Carroll impression.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's very true. You know, a friend of mine, okay, so like when I went to college, obviously there were people who were from the city, and then there were people from, you know, upstate and like neighboring places. So like people hearing people's city accent who haven't. And my friend Jose has a very specific like Queens accent that I don't feel totally exists a ton anymore. You don't hear it a lot. But there was one quote that me and my friends always said where it came out really strong. And so we were looking for water bottles. You used to walk around campus with like filling your water bottles with alcohol so it didn't look like you were just drinking water. And we were looking for extra water bottles. We were headed out for the day. And we couldn't find any more. And then suddenly Jose showed up. He has one. We're like, man, where'd you find that? And he goes, I got it out of the trash, all right? Like, what? No one talks like that. Hey, I got it out of the trash, all right? Trash.
It's it was very John Travolta.
Very much so.
Very early. Yeah. But, you know, years ago, the Queens accent was different from the Brooklyn accent and the Bronx accent.
Yes.
And when they came up with the Bugs Bunny voice, he tried to do a little Bronx and a little Brooklyn. And now Brooklyn does sound more like the suburbs because of the kids who've moved there.
My mom had the thickest Queens accent you could possibly imagine. You know, you couldn't even pronounce ER. It was like Christopher, you had 3 sheets to the wind, please. And that accent moved slowly out to Long Island. There are towns on Long Island with that Queens accent because obviously,
because people that were born in Queens, they did a little better. They moved to Long Island.
Yeah,
but I remember Anthony doing a thing. There was an astronaut who. That was born in Queens going up, and they were laughing about it. And Anthony was doing the mom going, he's in the shuttle. He's going up in the shuttle right now. And I was laughing my ass off. All right. Speaking of New York, I sent Gail this thing today with a kid saying, please stop acting like upstate New York is great. It's fucking terrible. I've lived here my whole life. See if you can send that to Chris.
Yeah.
It's kind of long.
Okay,
see if
I'll
you can
play it, and then you could just tell me when you want to tap out because you might be able to get it after like 30 seconds.
As someone who has been raised and has lived in upstate New York for my entire life, it is so bizarre to see New York City influencers and just influencers in general try to romanticize the area. I'm talking specifically like the Hudson Valley area of New York. When I was a kid, like some of these towns, if you were walking on the street late at night, you could very well have been unalived. Like that's how bad the area is. And now I'm seeing like people make videos there like, come spend the day with me in Kingston. Come spend the day with me in Catskill. I live near a town called Hudson, and the entire town has been so gentrified where the whole thing, like the whole main street of the town is completely catered to people coming up from the city. None of the locals can afford anything that's in like the shops, the restaurants, the coffee shops. Like everything is so expensive, and it's just teeming with people who are coming up from the city, and they're like, you know, like posting on Instagram saying like, oh my God, we spent the weekend upstate in this cute little town and yada, 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 buying like an $800 lamp.
Yeah.
The owner.
So, what is worrying you? Bad crime or expensive land?
Which is it? Okay. So here's what I'm going to tell you. And I can tell you, I don't know this kid, but I can see that he's significantly younger than me. So when he was a kid, I'll tell you this, I was in Kingston 20 years ago. It was fine. Okay. It was fine. It was a little dull. You know, wasn't a nightlife place, but it was near New Paltz, which that was a college town. There were things to see. But you know what it was? Around beauty, which brought people to the area. Okay? There wasn't anything to do, but it wasn't rough. It's fucking 10 minutes from New Paltz. Okay? And this is what I'm going to tell you about. And I've heard this kind of vibe from the townies. Okay? I'm going to explain this to you. People from the city live around crime, lower income people, and diversity. So we're not going to clutch our pearls when we are in an upstate town and we see brown people on the street the way the townies do.
I think this is like the biggest problem is like when you live there 12 months out of the year, you're getting 9 months of rough weather in the...
Yes.
Even if it's just 5 months of rough weather. And also, if you're a kid who grows up in New Paltz, you might be like, there isn't shit to do around here. You don't feel like that when you're visiting New Paltz for a weekend.
No.
You know what I mean? There's plenty to keep you busy. Look, here's the thing. If you lived in Wildwood, New Jersey, you would have a rough fucking 6-7 months.
Yes.
And then it kicks ass in the summer.
Yeah. Right. And then you go, what are all these people doing? Well, the weather got great.
Yes.
I'm also going to tell this kid something that is going to shock the hell out of him. Before he was even born, generations before, they have been romanticizing the Catskills. That's where the city people go. Why? Because it's fucking beautiful. And it is really pretty. And so this kid got me so annoyed. I had to run to the comments, as I often do, just to see if there was any like-minded people to myself. And I loved this one in particular. This person wrote, as someone who grew up in the Midwest and lived in NYC, and now I live in the Hudson Valley, y'all are so negative. Most of the U.S. is trash. And the Hudson Valley is beautiful. And it has history and things to do. Why do you guys act like this?
You know what? I think last summer I was up at where Woodstock was done, but it's not Woodstock. I forget what the name of the town is.
I know exactly.
Bethel? Yes, Bethel, New York.
Yep.
And before the concert, we were just looking around going, the grass here is amazing because it's dairy country. Yeah. The grass is so good. You go past those dairy farms and it's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. But yes, people in the 30s would vacation in the Catskills. Bob Dylan and the band dropped out in the 60s to just go live and be funky in Woodstock. It's nice.
Yes, it's literally so nice. I saw someone else saying, like, I live in Beacon, and I was like, the weekends, like, people just come here, like, influencers come here. Well, it's fucking beautiful, and you guys created a town for people to shop and have beautiful donuts and coffee. Like, that's why they're there.
Expensive, by the way. And yes, the part of Beacon that people go and shop is fake. I get it.
Yeah,
it's not real.
Strip,
Cold Spring has one block.
It's one,
and you're like, it's like, oh shit, we ran out of stuff. You don't do it because you're day tripping there.
Right.
And you go, you have a beautiful fucking dinner, you get some fudge, you know what I mean? You grab an ice cream or a wine, and it's great. It's a great place to spend the day. You'll get cliffs and river.
Let's just flip this around the other way, okay? People from the Hudson Valley come to New York City, and we're not shocked. Why are you guys there? To go out to see a concert that you didn't have in your town? Did you come to see a Broadway play? Do you want to get back to your beautiful place? Like, it's pretty normal to say,
Yes.
I've chosen one life and I'd like to sample another that's nearby. It's very common.
This kid don't know what he's talking about. Every town mentioned, Beacon, Hudson, Kingston, that whole area. Every single one of them towns are beautiful. Thank God you don't live in the Ohio Valley. No offense, but still.
I went up to Kingston, I think, to see that waterfall from
Severance.
Yeah.
I drove straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up. And the views were amazing. And I got to that waterfall, huge park that you could walk in for days. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? I know when you're young, you would rather have a fucking disco surrounded by 2 dive bars. But the people that are Chris is going to New Hope. There's a wedding in New Hope. And I'm like, it's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
But if I didn't think, he couldn't be peaceful at this age, I would be like, I don't think you're going to enjoy New Hope.
Right.
Unless you like the antique. But when you get to the adult age, you do want to be there.
Right.
And you look at these homes. Can you imagine living here?
It's so pleasant. I mean, I've never been to New Hope, but I'm going to guess same sort of vibes as the Hudson Valley somewhat, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be nice from what I can tell.
Also, I feel like I'm going to start some shit with the townies, but I feel like they have, just like any place, there are towns that have higher crime rates, and there's towns that don't. Guess what? New Yorkers understand that. They know how to move through both of those kind of neighborhoods, and you might even live in one of those kind of neighborhoods. Like, they think like, you guys don't even get, like, it's rough here. It's like, I think we fucking get it, dude. Like, we get it. Like, when I used to live in the city, I used to live in like a neighborhood that was like like there's certainly families neighborhood, but it's New York City. My fucking Citizen app was like pinging nonstop and it meant nothing to me. Just horrors happening 2 blocks away on your street. And you're like, oh, that's terrible. That's just, city people are used to it. So it's not shocking that Newburgh is a bad town. We get it. It's fine.
I think it's coming.
But here's the thing. I mean, we're just limited out here. But the same thing is very true of desert towns when you're out west.
Yes.
You're in a desert town. I bet if I grew up in a desert town, I'd be like, I got to get out of here. But spending a couple days in a sweet little fucking desert town, you're going to have a ball.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that's absolutely true. Man, this kid really got me going.
He's a nerd.
Yeah, I think you took him a little.
discourse.
You have to remember, he's a child.
He is a child, okay?
I also don't like they dropped the unalived. I know you have to for the algorithm, but still.
Yeah,
you
it's on
can't get out of
TikTok.
that.
You have to say it. And like, it almost feels like it's embarrassing, but yet you see people who are even edgier sorts and they say like on the live because they don't want the video pulled.
I think it's really great when you go to a small town and then you find out that there's one restaurant that they fucking care so much and they're just crushing it.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? And they moved there so they could do that cheaper than if they were in any city.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know?
There's one in Hudson.
When I go around New England, I mean, I don't even have a destination. I just start driving. And you'll find a fucking farm-to-table place that you're like, I'm in fucking heaven right now. And they'll have a thing like, hey, do you want to eat in a cornfield? Yeah, I think I do. I don't think I'd want to eat in a cornfield every night of my life if I grew up there.
Right.
But you're visiting and you're trying to experience nice, pleasant things.
And by the way, it's very hard to explain, but like, especially like when you're young, by the way, for the most part, you're spending weekends. If weekend nights, you want to be in the city, but you might have a situation where you're like, I need to get out of the city for a little bit. The older you get and you're living in the city, you're like, I can't wait to get the hell out of here and breathe air. And it's just, it feels great to be in a place that smells like wood, pine,
right,
water. It's nice.
When you're just looking to get laid every night, yeah, I get some of these places could be rough. But here's the other thing. Like when Chris goes up with his friends and they get an Airbnb, that's it. They're in the Airbnb in the country fucking stumbling around getting fucked up themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're not looking for a fucking cocktail bar.
That's a good point. And a lot of these day trippers, I've noticed, they're like some of them, the younger they are, they're really just showing up with a backpack, walking through town so they can go on a hike and smoke a little reefer in a beautiful place.
That's right.
Look, I get it with girls. I knew a girl that was a day tripper, one-way ticket, yeah. And it took me so long to find out, but I found out.
Why didn't he sing that?
I know, I would have went fucking crazy.
I really
Hearing his
would've.
voice crack, the day tripper.
Yes. Oh,
Why wouldn't you sing a Beatles song? Why did you go to Two Fucking Wings song?
I don't know.
Weird.
It's like,
And I don't feel like the audience
purpose.
popped for him.
no, not the way you would have thought. Even from the first time he came out, like when he was sitting in the audience, asked the question, they're like, yay, the guy. But it wasn't like, this is insane.
Yeah, I remember like when he started to come out on the road a lot, and it was mind-blowing. Because for years he wouldn't do any Beatles songs.
Right.
And then he's like, fuck it, I'm doing Beatles songs. And people were literally in tears.
Yeah,
there were
of course.
people fucking crying. And when I was doing Hey Jude, I had my fucking phone. I called my brother. Just put my fucking phone up.
Aw.
I mean, and he's like, I didn't think we'd ever fucking hear this live. So many bad feelings between those two assholes. But the other stuff, you know.
Yeah, sure.
And by the way, he still is the cute one. I mean, he may be the cutest 84-year-old man that's ever lived.
Is. It's very true.
I don't know if Ringo's going out again, but Ringo always did those great tours where he would have all these one-trick ponies with him. And they would all stay on stage, and then they would sing their song. You know what I mean?
That's great, yeah.
And everybody would back everybody up. And, you know, he would do his Beatles songs and his, 2 or 3 fucking Ringo songs. You know, you'd hear Don't Come Easy. And you're like, this is a fucking great time.
He's about to be on tour with that band again.
Well, who's the band? Because the band changes all the time.
That I'm going to look into, but there are dates, but I'm going to find out.
All right. Well, we got to find out who's playing.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Give me the lineup.
Because I saw him when he had the guys from the band play with him.
Mm-hmm.
He had Danko and Levon.
Man, that must have been great.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
No details as of right now.
Earl, is there details, Earl?
It's Steve Lukather from Toto.
Okay, you know what you're going to hear there.
Colin Hay from Men at Work.
Oh.
Down Under. Yeah.
Fun.
Hamish Stewart from Average White Band.
What's that?
Pick Up the Pieces?
Who's that? I don't know the song. What is the song?
Pick Up the Pieces. Pick Up the Pieces. What else did they do? Did they do the Imaginary Lover song?
Yeah, the Imaginary Lovers, Cut the Cake.
Cut the Cake.
Cut the yellow cake.
Imaginary Lovers was fucking unbelievable because if you took this song and sped it up, it sounded like Stevie Nicks.
Oh,
was
really?
fucking singing, yeah.
Warren Ham, Greg Bissonette, who's like a hired gun, and Buck Johnson.
It's a little thin. I'll be honest with you.
It's just a West Coast tour. I mean, it's not going full.
Yeah, but still, you know what I mean? I'd like to see a Pete Frampton on the fucking bill.
I get it.
Yeah. You didn't even know who was there. Earl had to come in and rescue the day again.
Look, I went to the tour page as opposed to the news page. I should have went to the news page on his website.
He said, as opposed to the new page. Let's go over to Miami. Here's Johnny Cakes.
Hey, guys, I went to school at SUNY Buffalo, and Gail's right. You know, you make fun of, like, Newburgh's a bad town, but outside of Buffalo, there's some weird hoodie places, and it's scarier than being down where we grew up in Long Island, New York, because 15 minutes, you're in the middle of nowhere. So it's a scarier hood upstate New York.
Yeah, but you're also going to be not walking the streets. Most of those places are not going to have, like, the type of bar culture and restaurants that this guy is talking about.
Here's the deal. Meth is bad.
Yeah.
When you have a fucking meth head, it's a different kind of crime. But we have meth heads in the cities.
Yes. And also
Kensington
everywhere.
and Philadelphia is just a beautiful place.
Right. Exactly. Exactly that. They're like, you don't understand. There are people who do drugs here. We got it, dude. We know what it is.
I'll tell you this. If I'm out on the farm, I'm going to have muddy mats. And not just for in the house.
True.
But also, you want to come into the barn, the goats, you better walk over the muddy mats.
Trying to keep floors clean, hardwood, tile, carpet, it's a constant battle, especially when our dog comes running in with muddy paws and tracks it everywhere. That used to be my nightmare until I got muddy mats.
Now we keep one by every door, and the mat actually grabs the dirt and moisture before it ever hits the floor. No more muddy footprints or paw prints all over the house.
I'd seen the videos online and thought, no way it works that well, but we're living proof it does.
Only Muddy Mat is made with thousands of ultra soft microfibers that are super absorbent, trapping dirt, water, and mess so it doesn't spread all over the house.
And when it gets dirty, just toss it in the washing machine. That's it. If you're tired of constantly cleaning your floors, you're going to love Muddy Mat as much as we do.
Right now, get a free medium Muddy Mat with your order of 2 or more mats at buymuddymat.com. That's B-U-Y, muddy, M-A-T.com. Don't wait. Get your free Muddy Mat today at buymuddymat.com.
Faction Talk 103, it's the Bennington Show. Faction Talk 103, it's the Bennington Show.
Is back. Do you remember how maybe like a week or two ago we were talking about Lena Dunham's book came out and you were like, you never hear Adam Driver say anything about that time, that era with girls?
Right.
So last night I was so excited because I see a headline on People magazine that says, Adam Driver finally breaks his silence about Lena Dunham's book. And I go, oh my God, I can't wait to read this. And I can't wait to tell Ron because we were just saying he never talks about that era of his life, never gives any credit. I get halfway through the article. I'm like, okay, set up. I get all the way there. What does it say? When asked about it, he said, no comment. No, I don't think that's someone breaking their silence, People magazine. I've never been so mad to be got by a headline like that. It really bothered me.
He literally said, I'll write about it in my book. You know, just a big deflection.
Yes.
But I don't blame him. It does him no good.
No. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's a movie star. And
but I hate that headline so much because I was like, oh, man, we've been interested to see if he had something to say. He basically said nothing. I shall not comment.
You have to have some clickbait in this business today or else you're dead, okay? You got to get the people to click on the links.
And I did. And that's what really, I never felt like more of a rube. I feel like normally, especially a People magazine, I know when something's clickbait and I don't engage. and they got me, and it hurts my feelings.
We talked last week saying, why hasn't SNL ever been an Epstein parody?
Right.
And immediately when the show started, Will Ferrell comes out, plays the part of Epstein.
I couldn't believe that. I mean, you just
We're in
said
the zeitgeist.
Yup.
Yeah, we're in the zeitgeist. And I will tell you this, last year when LeBron, where they're like, should he go back and be a Laker? I go, he should immediately go back to Cleveland and have one of those years where it's like a goodbye tour. Every fucking stadium buys you a rocking chair. Everybody gives you a big picture of yourself dunking at that court, and made it really great. Could you imagine how Earl would be shitting down his own leg if LeBron was with the Cavaliers right now? I don't think that the Knicks would be favorites. Not with this team.
Yeah. That's a very good point.
No.
There would be definitely, it'd definitely be like a pick 'em. Like it'd go either way. But if he was on this team right now, I'll be like, oh, Jesus. This guy again, like stopping us to get to the finals, it would drive me crazy.
Sure.
Yeah.
What if LeBron goes to, wait for it, the Bulls and tries to get one with the Bulls? That would be super interesting.
What would that mean to us?
Yeah.
I mean, the Jordan connection.
But no more than if he went, anywhere. Cleveland is the town that he has. He grew up in.
Right.
We could be like, hey, what if he put on skates and went with the Sabres and played tonight against Montreal?
Wouldn't that be cool?
You got two teams that I always like to see win. I like to see Montreal Canadiens win.
Yeah, me too.
But I also like to see Buffalo get happy about something before they're really hurt about something else.
Yeah.
Even when you look about that, what city is more snake bit? Is it Detroit or is it Minneapolis?
Ooh, that's interesting. Immediately, my knee jerk would be Minneapolis, and I feel like it's just like a cultural touchstone for them of just being like close, but no.
I think it's Detroit. I mean, they've had some rough teams, like really bad times in that city, both sports-wise and, I don't know, for the city itself.
A team that has all four major sports teams and has the least amount of championships is Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
They've had the least amount of championships ever. The Vikings have never got one.
That's really sad.
They've been through a lot of rough times.
It feels like part of their personality at this point.
Now, Gail, when we started the show today, you were on with my health team.
Yes, I was.
Are we getting good news with the schedule, or is this rough news?
No, all good things. Just answering a question that I had, getting back to me, and then just talking about upcoming day scheduling things. So all good things, nothing bad.
So the thing they called your mom about, I think a Thursday thing?
Yes.
Is that still on?
Can be done at the same place. So he did not make that call. He was kind of like, oh, I don't know why they said that. I can have it done here at this same place. I said, yes, that would be preferable.
I've heard that before and then saw that it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I don't like how spread out they are. They're making me a little nervous.
It's true. It's very true.
And then the following Tuesday.
Yes, we're set for that same place, same situation. But, it's like it's pretty crazy because a lot of things have kind of led us to this point.
Yeah.
It kind of all begins this week, and we see how all these things shake out. But we've had a lot of support leading up to this place, and I'm very, very grateful for that. But, it's also like it kind of feels like everything has been leading up to this.
Sure. Yeah. That's sadly, that's how it works.
Yeah.
And it's a lot, no matter where you're going or what you're doing.
Yeah. And by the way, I try to get back to people as quickly as possible. But, me and Ron said this from day one when we came on the air, is that, like, this is something that unfortunately has touched so many people's lives. Yeah. So many people have, like, a wealth of knowledge, unfortunately, and experience. Right? Yeah. And ways that, they want to pop in and support. And some of those things, they're like, oh, I know this isn't a big thing, but, and it's like every little piece of advice that people have given, even if it's just like about your headspace and where you need to be, is so appreciated. But yeah, it all really begins for Ron this week. So, it's been kind of leading up to this point. And it does feel good to get started, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I don't know. I really appreciate it. Ron really appreciates, the amount of support, because it really has been wild to talk to people, even people that we know personally, comedians we know who have wanted to reach out and be there for Ron. I don't think he could have a bigger team of love and support.
It's a support system. It's the meaning of it. You know what I mean?
I haven't felt it. I'm going to be really honest. I felt it from our people, but I'm not feeling it yet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be honest. A lot of people that love us, they don't know how to do this stuff. I mean, we really need the people that Chris was like, this is the Avengers of this whole thing. And I wish I just wasn't under the same stress. Tomorrow's going to be a very rough day.
Yeah.
And I wish I felt a little better about it. But
sure,
I get it. You can't be a squeaky wheel. But it's making me somewhat concerned. Maybe I need that St. Patrick's church thing. I do want to see if I can't put all the prayer groups together. I have prayer groups all over the place, and I mean Catholic prayers, Protestant prayers, Jewish prayers, witchy prayers. I'd like to get them all under one big umbrella.
That would be great.
A pantheon.
Just maybe some sort of large place of worship.
Now, Chris, the stuff you were saying, were you just trying to say the right stuff, or you honestly feel that way?
I feel that way. I honestly, I know there's been some bumps, but I feel this is the place you should be at with 100% of my being. And I get that it's annoying. I understand that.
Yeah.
So you want to have your cake and eat it too?
I don't.
You want to have your yellow cake and eat it too?
I want you to have all of the yellow
It's
cake.
custardy and thick and rich.
Yes. Is it the extra yolk or is it the extra butter?
You know what? Let's throw them both in just in case.
I like all flavors.
Right.
Yellow.
I just, I'm really, really not sure, but if I had to be like Chris and just try to say the right spot, I would just go, that's what the man says. Won't you listen what the man says? Now, I want to get the big, Earl. You got the big game tomorrow night, Earl?
Yes, 8:30, 8 o'clock tomorrow night, Madison Square Garden.
You're going to be there?
I'm going to be in the courtyard. I got to be in the courtyard with this.
You're going to be on the court? Oh my God! I don't know if you're ready for that, Earl.
Money.
Yeah, the viewing parties. That was where the real fans are, and that's where I have the most fun. Everyone's drinking, everyone's smoking weed, everyone's having a blast.
But you're not doing any of those things.
That's my favorite part of it. Everyone's fucking and sucking. I mean, it's going great.
Talking trash.
Oh, look, they're down 20. We're still having fun.
Yeah.
I hope we're not down 20 tomorrow night. They might get a little rough.
See what just happened to the Pistons? I mean, they didn't even bother showing up.
Yeah, I was shocked on that. I just thought that after Game 6, the way Cleveland just folded, I was like, they have no chance. And they came out and wiped these guys out on the road.
And now you have to get a piece of that with your Knicks.
I'm going to steamroll these guys.
He's very confident. Earl is very confident right now.
Gail, you know how you're always saying, is there something that you just found out that you should have known a long time ago?
Yes.
I had one of those things just today.
Really?
Yes, and it was with the movie Elizabethtown. And the fact that Ashton Kutcher had that role. And 4 months into the preparation, he was told, it's not working out. We can't do it.
Wow, I did not know that.
So it went to the English guy. What's his name? The guy from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Yes, I know exactly.
Johnny
who you
Depp.
mean. No,
yes,
the other
Johnny Depp is the
That's
fucking
British.
guy that was in Elizabethtown.
Orlando Bloom.
So I always thought a big part of the problem with Elizabethtown, because it is like an American road trip,
Right.
and he's following all the places that his father had people or touched. Why would an English guy be doing that? This would make a lot more sense if it was Ashton Kutcher. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Because I'm like, why is his dad so American and Southern?
Right.
Where did his English accent has? Because we saw his mom, Susan Sarandon, she didn't have a fucking English accent.
Why didn't they explain this?
Why did they? It's the same thing as the Odyssey. They just
Right.
do whatever they
It's just-
want, even though it makes no sense.
It's a good point.
I also think that kid is not a good actor to begin with. I mean, early on he had he was an elf and then he was a pirate. Things were really going his way. But he can't carry a fucking film.
No. He needs to be in a fantastical space, I believe.
Yeah,
It's kind
and
of
just
like-
be a good-looking kid in the background.
Yes.
But he's not carrying
guy.
shit. But that movie, I had never heard that before, and apparently everybody else knew it.
I don't feel bad because this was the first I heard of it. I'm
Same.
shocked. I'll tell you one that I just found out on Thursday. Okay. I am at my puppy class with Dolly because she needs training because she's a nut, right?
Uh-huh.
And she's playing with another puppy around her age. And they're kind of wrestling with each other. And this dog is a boxer, okay? And so the dog is playing, and, he's like up on his back legs, and he's like pawing at her, and he's using his paws. And then the trainer says, true boxer behavior, hence the name. And I looked around like, are you serious? Only the owner of the breed knew this. And I go, they're called boxers because they're obsessed with boxing. They're literally pawing at things. They almost don't even use their mouths the way regular dogs do. And they're constantly using their paws like hands. And because that's the way they interact with the world, that's why they're called boxers. I had
Didn't know
no
it.
fucking clue.
No idea.
All this time. Never knew boxers are handsy, boxing, pawing at things. They're jabbing, they're bopping, they're weaving. I had no idea.
I like this fit. 844-762-5463. Something you just found out.
Yep.
But
I
you
found
felt
out.
like you should have known a long time.
Yes.
Mine was the end of Cameron Creer's kind of bright spot. Cameron Crowe was the guy.
Yes.
And then this Elizabethtown came out, and people are like, what?
Yeah, it was
What?
kind of the point of no return, right? With that.
And do we blame Kutcher or the other fucking limey?
That's a good
All
point.
right. 844 Rock God. That's 844-762-5463. Chris Stanley, what about for you?
I read this one recently. Rob Lowe, when he was like a little boy, hunted down Liza Minnelli, knocked on her hotel room door, and she invited him in and gave him career advice because he wanted to be a little actor. And they had a long conversation and were friends to this day. And that's how they initially met, which blew my mind.
Well, he lived in Malibu, so he lived with Charlie Sheen, Sean Penn. They were all his buddies. So she probably was in Malibu. And, it's not a big community. And I don't know about you, but when a little kid comes and asks you career advice, it's like one of the best things that can ever happen. You're like, this guy thinks I got something for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
I've never turned down a kid who had questions about anything. Matter of fact, I'm not going to say who the person was, but they were in a play years ago, and the first time I met her, she had written to me and said, in this play, I have to do a bump. Could you explain to me what it's like?
Oh my gosh.
And apparently, I was very comfortable telling her what it's like. to do
Oh my
coke.
God, that's so funny.
I mean, down to the point where she's like, I should just go buy coke because it sounds fucking fantastic.
He really sold me on it. He really did.
Deb, remind me that I got to tell you how to keep your room moving. It's not. You know what I mean? So when you're saying it's happening, it's not. But those are those weird things that you can get into of like, you think something is difficult to do, but I think anybody would do the thing that you said.
Right. No,
Chris, I think any adult would do that.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice because I don't know. I figure Liza Minnelli's pretty busy. I believe.
Why? How busy has she been since the 1970s?
Yeah.
I used to see Liza Minnelli all the time on the Upper East Side in the same diner. I guess she was drinking coffee all the time. But it looked like she had her afternoons free, like she was in a Seinfeld show. Martin in Indiana. Something you should have known, but you just found out.
Yeah, I went my whole life without knowing glass was made from sand.
That's fascinating.
Yes, it
it's
is.
a weird one. It's a weird one.
I went to a place to pick up a load of bottles for a brewery company, and there was this big mountain of sand behind it. And I asked the guy, what the hell's all that sand for? He said, you don't know that's what glass is made out of? No, I didn't know.
That's embarrassing. But here's the other thing. When you look at sand in a magnifying glass and you think of it as something that you could lay on, it's just tiny rocks. And they're all different colors. And none of them look like sand at all.
They're so it's like more like really tiny, intricate little seashells. And they're like, so, you know what I mean? Like they're just like, each one is like a little snowflake. It's so cool looking. But I'll give you a glass one that I found out years ago that this one kind of blew my mind, right? So somebody was talking about how it bothers them. This is a person who's very into probably glassmaking and then the history of glassmaking. And it bothers them when they see period pieces and they see windows in like, let's say the little cottage. And those windows are kind of all like, remember, kind of wavy and like you can't see through them. They said, we only think that's what the glass looks like because that's what aged glass looks like. Oh. So if we come across an old building, an old house that has original windows, yes, it's wavy, but when they made it, it was probably pretty clear. And I was fascinated by this.
At what time did they start putting glass in windows, though? It's like the serfs did not have glass in their windows.
Sure.
And like, how the fuck would you even bother having a window? You know what I mean? If you can put some glass in it. But I feel like it's one of the latter things that happen. And yet you see the stained glass in Italy that was like, what, 1,200, 1,100?
Yeah, nailed it, actually. 1,200 was when they started doing that.
And like,
how do you know?
I looked up a fun fact.
Why are you doing that when we're having a conversation?
Because I do feel like ancient Rome and Egypt both had glass, but I don't think you were like sticking it in people's homes. Like it was a luxury item.
So Chris is saying it didn't even happen till 1,200 years after ancient Rome.
That was stained glass specifically.
Wait, we didn't have stained glass to 1,200?
Till the 12th century, so maybe 1,100. So yeah, right around there.
Well, yes.
Yes,
but
that's right.
who? So we just had clear glass. So the early churches did not have stained glass.
No, there was just like either no windows or just like some shittier version of
But
glass.
I feel like we've had glass in some shape or form in ancient Rome and Egypt, like glass windows.
Did those palaces in ancient Rome have glass in their windows?
I believe yes. I believe they did.
I'd be fucking going like this. This is unbelievable, man.
Can see right through this wall.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I mean, we're only here. I mean, Christ is still alive.
If not recently deceased. I mean, I'm pretty shocked that we were able to come up with this.
This is
All right.
sorcery.
So here's the thing. This was just sent to me. Glass windows were first developed in the Roman Empire about 100 AD, likely in Roman Egypt, which is the same thing that Gail kind of brought up in Alexandria.
Right.
Nailed it.
So I find that hard to believe, but according to this, Jesus never saw a window.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yes. That's pretty strange.
Sucks for Jesus.
That's really and why didn't he bring it up? By the way, like if he was,
Why
I
didn't
feel
he
like
just touch the air and make some glass there?
God, I know he's like doing all this, like turning bread into fish and water into wine. Make this wall into a window so we can see out of it.
Or even just some of that desert sand. That would have made the most sense.
If he could have given that as like just like a little idea for them,
Oh, yeah.
Considering they figured it out only 100 years later, I don't think he would have been spoiling much.
I think if he would have turned fish into a window, people would have been fucking super impressed.
Mm-hmm.
Super impressed.
Blown their minds.
Oh my God. What do you call this? Window, huh?
Yes. Because it's like it can only be cleaned with Windex. So
Right.
I've named it Window.
Oh my God. Can you imagine how difficult it would be? Like 100 AD is you've invented window, but you don't have Windex yet. You go, it
Yeah.
just looks like shit. I mean, I promise when I first made it, it looked great, but then everyone started touching it. And now it looks terrible. I try to wipe it off. It gets more smudged.
Imagine like you're a window salesman in the early days trying to explaining what the thing was, and then people finding out how easy it is to break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get a miracle thing, and then the next thing you know, a rock goes through it.
I know. I'd be standing there, and I'd imagine door-to-door salesman, right? Pitching me on windows. I go like this. I got kids. I got kids in here, sir. This is
What
gonna
came
shatter.
first, the window or the mirror?
Oh. God, I feel like mirror has had longer references. But that seems harder to come up with than...
I mean, it's a very weird because I don't even know what a mirror is made out of. Just mirror stuff.
No, that's weird. Sand, but reflecty sand?
Oh, yeah.
How the hell? Wait, that's embarrassing that I actually could not tell you. And I can't tell you which one came first. I don't
All right.
know.
They said that the first mirror was supposed to be Ashton Kutcher, but it did not work out.
God damn it, Bloom.
All right, this was said. The mirror came first, was sent to me. The earliest man-made mirrors crafted from polished black volcanic glass or polished metals. So first of all, the volcanic ash, this goes back to like 6,000 BC.
Holy
So they
shit.
just found this shiny stuff in the ash. And they're like, wait a minute, there's a person in there. No, that person's you, dude.
That's me. I never... And then you're probably for the first time going, is my nose that big? Jeez, I feel like bigger than most people I've met.
I'm a monster.
I need to lose some weight.
I'm fatter than I thought I was. I really am.
I don't think there's ever been a person who looked in the mirror, no matter what they weigh, and didn't go, I'm fatter than I ever thought I was. You could weigh 105 pounds, be a 6-foot man, and you're like, Jesus Christ, look at my ass.
Preaching to the choir.
It's embarrassing. All right, that's it for us, guys. Tomorrow's going to be a busy day for me. Thanks for all the well wishes and the love that comes my way. It's more than I deserve.